All right, welcome back to another episode of the Empower Her podcast. My name is Tiffany, and I'm here to bring you all the girly, fun, awesome things in life to make your life easier and better. Today, I want to talk about how I transitioned my life from hustle culture to soft CEO energy. So this transition has completely changed the way that I live, work, be a mom, all the things. And I'm really excited to share some tips and tricks with you guys today on how you can start implementing some soft CEO vibes into your life and hopefully make it feel a little bit more balanced. So I want to make this really clear. I still run a business. I still manage a household. I still have boss babe energy. I love being busy, and I love dipping my hands into as many projects as I possibly can. But after feeling the burnout a few times, I started to realize that exhaustion is not a badge of honor. And I really started researching how I can implement systems into my day to balance the feeling of overwhelm. So for years, I thought that success meant staying busy, being productive, creating things, being excessively busy. And I was always looking for the next thing that I could improve or build or create. While growth is very important to me still, I realized that my brain needed a break. I did a little bit of research too, and I found that science actually shows that our brains need periods of rest and recovery to improve creativity, problem solving, and focus, which were the three things I needed badly. So just like muscles don't grow during activity, they grow during your recovery period, our brains need time to recover as well. So I made a little list of things that I started implementing into my daily and weekly routines that really helped me try to slow down, take a look around, and not be on alert at all times. And I actually found that by implementing these things, it made my work mode so much more focused and productive. And I had a lot more energy during my work periods than I did before, when I was just constantly going from morning till night. So the first thing I did, which is kind of crazy, and I never expected myself to do this, but I used to read, I still do read a lot of self-development books. I'm a big person on self-improvement and self-help books. And I was constantly absorbing them. I was listening to audiobooks. I was buying books. I was watching podcasts. Anything I could do around self-development, I had it on at all times. And I didn't realize it at the time, but it was actually making me a lot more anxious because after I listened, I wanted to implement all the things I learned. And when I wasn't keeping up with all the things I was absorbing, I was getting stressed because I couldn't get to all the things that I had just learned about. So what I did, I went on a vacation with my mom and my girls to Florida over the Christmas break. And I brought my Kindle, which I've had because I just thought it was cool to have one, but I never actually was reading on it. And I downloaded this, I think it was a free book, and it was fiction, which I don't think I've ever read a fiction book in my life. And I started it one night, and I found that I kept reading and reading, and I would go from chapter to chapter, and I would say to myself, okay, after this chapter, I'm going to put it down and go to bed. And then I was just so intrigued by the story that the next day, after we had fun and went in the pool and went shopping and stuff, I was thinking about getting back to my book because I wanted to know what was happening in the storyline. And that was kind of the start of me introducing more fiction books into my life. And it's funny to say, but I just really enjoy getting lost in the story, and it gave my brain a break away from work. And I didn't really realize how much self-development books were still keeping me in work mode. So when I switched to fiction, it kind of created that break where my brain can kind of just go somewhere else and get lost in the story. And I love it. I think I'm on to like my 6th fiction book this year, and I even have a subscription now to a Kindle that I can just put some books on my account and read them when I'm done with the other. It's so awesome. And I have to say, I'm so proud that I am that girly now that reads a book and it comes out in the movie and I can be like, the book was way better. So I've been able to do that a few times. Step 2, I implemented a intentional, very chill morning routine. I'm not sure if any of you follow me on Instagram, but I was documenting it in early September. And I feel as a creative and as a business owner, I just naturally stay up late. I find when my kids go to bed, it's when I have this quiet time to work on projects or just be on my computer editing music, all the things. So it's never been a priority of mine to get up early, I would say. But obviously within reading all of these, self-development things, I saw the pattern of the importance of setting an intentional morning routine and getting up just a little bit extra early so that you can plan your day and just be able to be a little bit more organized, which I definitely needed help in. So I started waking up early. I started going on a walk. I planned my day a little bit better in the morning instead of flying by the seat of my pants, which I am very good at. And I really saw the difference when I got into a routine. And while I don't do it 7 days a week, it's a little bit tricky for me to get up extra early during the school year because I do teach late at night every day. And with my daughter's school schedules, I have to take both of them to school at different schools at different times. So it's a little bit tricky. But now that the summer is rolling in, I'm super excited to get back into the habit of having an intentional morning routine so that I can have time to myself, to plan my day, to take it slowly, and to get organized. My third tip to live a more soft CEO girl life is I really started to make my bedroom into a little sanctuary. So there's a few non-negotiables that I have in my room. One, I always have to make my bed. I just like the aesthetic of it. I like coming into my room at any time and just seeing a nice, clean, put together bed. I'm the girl that has the small throw pillows that are useless, but they just look nice. I also have a favorite linen spray. It's from, I think the company's called DW Home, and it's a brand that you can buy at Winners, Marshalls, Home Scents. And the scent is Peony Petals. It's funny because I just ran out of my first bottle, and my bestie Melanie bought me this for my birthday. And when I ran out, I'm like, you need to tell me where you got this from. I can't live without it. It's my favorite. So she told me that it's from Winners. I have been to maybe 4 or 5 stores and I cannot find the scent for the life of me. I see the brand all the time. I did find a candle in that scent, but I cannot find the room spray. So if any of you are looking around and you happen to be a Winners window shopper, please tell me if you can find the Peony Petals linen spray from DW Home. Thank you. So I also hopped on the candle warmer train. So I have a nice candle warmer that I set on a timer for 2 to 5 hours. And I keep that running in my room. So whenever I walk in, it smells so delish. And lastly, this is a little niche, but I don't have a TV in my bedroom, but I did put my projector in there. And I sometimes post about it when myself or London and I are watching a movie in my room, but I project it onto the wall right at the end of my bed, and it just turns my room into a movie theater. It's the best setting and lighting and vibes I could ever ask for. And what I've been doing lately when I'm reading my fiction book is I will project a scene on my wall. You can YouTube like rainy night through window or snowy evening or crackling fireplace, and you just project it onto your wall and it just illuminates your room and just creates the best vibes for reading. I love it so much. So check that out if you can, even if it's not on a projector, even if it's on a laptop beside you while you're reading. I'm telling you, it's life-changing. The final thing I did to switch from hustle culture to soft girl CEO was I started drinking more tea. Now, I know that's so small. A lot of you are tea drinkers because a lot of you have been the ones to recommend certain flavors and types of tea. But I am a coffee Alani energy drinking fiend. I do it all day long from when I wake up to when I go to bed. I could chug an Alani and go to sleep in 5 minutes. I think my brain just needs that dopamine hit to get through. So it doesn't affect me in that sense. So I could drink it all day long. However, I started implementing tea in the afternoons, usually from the time I go to work and teach dance till when I'm home before I go to bed. And not only did it help me settle down a little bit more, settle my brain down a little bit more, but I felt like I was like a whole new So once I started implementing more tea in my evening routine, I don't know, I can't explain it, but it just made me feel like main character energy. I don't know why, but just the idea of sitting with like a warm cup of tea, reading my book. I've got the projector on my wall. It's just so calming and it really quieted my brain down. And I love that there's such an array of teas. And I'm so thankful for all of you that have helped me experience the tea world and recommend different flavors and different styles of tea. One thing that I love doing, it's a little bit funny, but I will put a little bit of vanilla protein shake into my tea. I do find that I love citrus teas. And when I mix that with my protein, it kind of gives it this like warm, just cup of amazingness. I love it. You should try it. Don't knock it till you try it. So in the end, if you are feeling constantly overwhelmed and tired and exhausted and to the point of burnout, maybe pushing harder through those seasons isn't the right answer. Maybe it's about creating more space, more calmness, and more peace in your life to let your brain settle and recover so that you can tackle the things with more energy later on. I just find like more moments like that make me feel like myself again. And it really creates that break between work Tiffany and human Tiffany. Because I think the goal in life is to really just build a life that you enjoy living in. And to constantly be on the hamster wheel is not going to feel fulfilling all the time. And that's what Soft Girl CEO energy means to me. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you on the next episode.